Monday, June 30th is the Lion Channel. I'm John, day 60 of my manifesting journey. Going to be a shorter video, okay? I've probably had like 30 takes so far, and I'm not sure why, but it hasn't really been flowing for some reason. As you can see, I have the lights on in the back. It's like it's 8:30. All right. It's basically it's dark out. One good thing did happen was I just saw the peacock when we got back home from we took my daughter to her voice lessons. All right, but I wanted to make sure I get this video in. It's non-negotiable, of course, and shout out everyone who has stayed consistent on their non-negotiables. But first, before I get to that, I wanted to talk about a new technique that I've implemented over the past couple days. All right, it's called the power pose, and I was on David's community, and one of the people in the community, they posted this from a book. All right, in all my years I've never heard of this, and it seemed really intriguing to me. So I did it for the last 2 days, and I've noticed like an uptick in my energy and my confidence, like when I come out of it. Okay. And it's a really quick technique, a really quick exercise. All right. All you do is strike a Superman pose or a Wonder Woman pose where you put your hands on your hips and your shoulders back. You know, you have that good posture, and then separate your feet. All right, like 18 inches. Your feet will be just outside your hips, and you just stand there for 2 minutes, just like that, like a statue, like a Superman or Wonder Woman statue for 2 minutes. Like I said, the last 2 days I've done it, and I've noticed a difference. All right, so anything that's going to make me feel better after I do it, especially something that's that quick for like 2 minutes, and it makes that kind of a difference, boom, right in my non-negotiables. So I figured I'd share that if you want to try it out and maybe implement it into your daily routine. All right, so all right, let's go down the list. Marley stayed consistent. Congrats. Way to go. All right, she is exercising. That was the most challenging thing for her. And she's exercised, I guess, the last 3 or 4 days. And, you know, the first couple of days were tough, but it seems like now she just put exercise on there. So, you know, after pushing through, after, you know, like today and a couple of times before where it's gotten late and I needed to push through on the videos, the next day is so much easier, and the next day and the next day after that. And I rarely run into days like this where it's just kind of like a, you know, for whatever reason it's a little more challenging. But so there still will be days like that, but it's, for the most part, it just gets easier and easier. And that's what seems like is happening with her. And then she's also um Marley, I think you're going to use the Lion's Den to give you a little boost with your channel, and maybe start posting a little more consistently or being a little more consistent with your channel, which is awesome. Okay, and this is what's so good about this community, because but you have to do it. You have to stay non-negotiable for it to work. So whatever you're being non-negotiable about, you have to do it every single day. So, you know, but what's great about this is if there's something that you've been kind of struggling with that you know you want to do, you know, it's like just start posting here and then make that non-negotiable, and just post here every day, and just think about how it's going to feel if you don't post here and if you don't follow through. How's that going to feel when you're laying in bed? And how great would it feel if you didn't feel like doing it, but you still push through? All right. That's what gets me through a lot of these times when, I get to this point. It's like, if I don't make a video, like, and I'm laying down in bed, I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I'm just going to keep, just doing it until I get it right. All right. So that's Marley. Brent, congrats following through on your wish fulfilled, and also you're implementing the 6-minute God, which is awesome, and you are also implementing the walking meditation. I was waiting for someone to start doing the walking meditation. All right, Brent did it the right way, and this is how I recommended it. You do it a couple days, because it is one of those things that, at first it feels a little weird, but if you push through and you do it a couple times, at least that's how it worked for me. You start to get into like a rhythm, and it's like when you come out of it, at least again for me, like I feel like a different person sometimes. Now sometimes I'm just going into it and I'm already up here, so if it takes me, but if I have a challenging morning and then I go into the walking meditation, it brings me back to where I need to be. So Brent, I'm excited that you started doing that, and I'm sure it's going to make a world of difference for you. So that's Brent. Then we have Kate. All right, congrats again. Way to go, following through, staying non-negotiable, your wish fulfilled, and your 22 gratitudes, those extra 2 gratitudes. I did do those today, where I'm just doing and Kate, this was Kate's idea. She brought up yesterday, where she's being grateful for 2 extra things on her list that she doesn't technically have in the 3D world. Like if she had to take it out and show it to you, she couldn't show it to you, but she's acting as if she already has it by being grateful for it before it's even physically here. And so that was such a great idea that I added it to my routine. So thanks again, Kate, for that. And then she's also added in saying thank you at the end of her post, because she's grateful for this community. All right, so I appreciate you, Kate. I appreciate you saying thank you, and I appreciate you being here. Next, my wife Mindy, she just went, and since she committed to exercising every day, she had already exercised pretty frequently. I would say like at least 4 or 5 days a week normally, but now she's committed to every day, exercising every day. We had finished what we were doing, and we were out in the parking lot waiting for my daughter to finish voice lessons. And we got back a little early. There was still like 20 minutes before she needed to come out. And in the same parking lot is this place called Hot Works, where my wife sometimes will work out. So she had already packed her gym bag just in case this happened. And she ran in that window and got on the bike for 15 minutes, and came out all sweaty, and it was a fun, it was a windows down ride home. But that's what I'm talking about, being non-negotiable. Again, like when you're committing, you do whatever it takes to get it done. And so that was impressive to see from her. And then she's also doing gratitude every day. All right, that's something else where she was doing it once in a while, but now she's non-negotiable. But the most important thing, talk about all the time, the wish fulfilled. All right, and that's the real reason why the Lion's Den was created, because I know, and anyone else who has consistently fell asleep in the wish fulfilled, applying the law of assumption and acting as if you are already that person that you want to become, your life changes. And so everyone who's doing this, who starts posting here, your life will change. Guaranteed. You're seeing it right now, not only with me, but the people who are starting to post here. How these, these small changes, which are just going to keep building on themselves each day, within 30 days, you're gonna hear, within probably a week, you're gonna start hearing about some manifestations here. All right, so it's this is fun. All right, and like I said, if you want to join, just start posting. Your life will change. All right. That's it for today. All right. Have a great night. I know everybody here will have a great night. I'm gonna have a great night. I'm gonna sleep hard tonight. Lions Den, day 61 tomorrow. Enjoy your night, and I'll see you then. Bye. I love you all. Bye.